welcome back to another week of Hello Ladies, Feminism and Pro Wrestling. I am one of your hosts, Sabrina Hannon.
I am Megan Manley.
And things have happened in wrestling, as they tend to do.
Yes.
And we have many opinions about them, as we tend to do.
Yes.
So where shall we kick off this week?
Well, we didn't get to do the Raw after Mania because we were recording right before the Raw after Mania. So that'd probably be a good place to pick up for where we left off last week.
Yeah. I feel like the only good thing that happened or of note, because the Raw after Mania was pretty like womp womp.
Yeah.
Other than the first thing that happened, which was Cody Rhodes promo, which was amazing. Just all of the emotions, all of the yays upon seeing him, and then all of the tears throughout it. Like every time he chokes up, I'm there like
Yeah, it's not a Cody Rhodes promo unless we get some of this kind of talking. Like, I want my brother, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And like he also, so when he's on the Go Big Show as a judge, he chokes up every time that there is like a parent child relationship at play, or like when someone's in the family business of entertaining and telling their story, like he chokes up every time. And it's just so refreshing to see like a man so comfortable with all of his emotions.
And Cody has a lot of them.
Yes. And just he's a good, I think it's safe to say between like AEW and I don't think anybody else could have written that promo for him on Raw either, that he's just a good like public speaker as far as writing them goes and delivering them.
Yeah, he's very good on the mic.
Yeah. And as I was listening to him, I got so pumped because I was like, oh yes, I want him to be the one that gets the title off of Roman. Oh my God. You've now given me that as a possibility, WWE. And now I need that. That is the only thing I will accept from here on out.
I'm pretty sure that is what they're going for. That not the Universal title. He's going to get the WWE titles. I don't think that they're going to unify them.
I hope not. Like, I remember back when they did the first brand split back in the day that they had one champion for like, one men's champion, one women's champion, one tag team, blah, blah, blah. And they would just bounce back and forth between the shows. And well, that wasn't bad. Like, I'd feel really bad for the champions in that case, because your schedule's insane then. Like that's one of the nice things about having the brand split. These people don't have to be at every single show.
Right. They might be doing that because the Usos tonight we're recording on Monday.
Yeah.
The Usos are facing RK Bro, and I think they're gonna win because I think that they're gonna have the bloodline hold all the belts. And
I sure as hell hope not, but
I don't want that to happen, but I think that's the route that they're going. I think they're going to have them holding all those belts. And if they do, maybe they are going to unify them.
Maybe. But yeah, if they're not unifying them, it would make Cody Rhodes hasn't been dreaming of becoming the Universal Champion his basically whole life. So yeah, I would hope it would be the WWE Championship.
Right. Yeah, he wants that one with that lineage. If they unify them, technically it still does have the lineage because they unified the belt. Because the WWE Championship was unified with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And that's the one that has like the Flair lineage and like the Booker T and the WCW stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like usually they're pretty predictable, and for once I'm not sure what they're gonna do.
Yeah. It had just better end with Cody holding up that damn belt after winning it.
I can't see him leaving being an EVP of a company that he had started to not go to a new company with being a champion in that contract. Like I think we're gonna
Mhm.
see it. He's gonna be, the money, and then he's executive producer of the Dusty bio that's coming out.
Mhm. And I
I
mean, if they offered him his dream, which honestly they definitely should have. Yeah, you can't say no to that.
Yeah, I'm about 95% positive that he's gonna be the one to finally pin or submit Roman after, would they say 2019 was the last time that he has been pinned or submitted? That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Hmm.
I can't remember the last time that we have seen someone in that company so protected. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And like if they do Cody versus Roman, and like the match is not around here, that's something I would consider getting on a plane to go see. I'm not sure if I would actually do it, but I would consider it.
I'm terrified of flying, so I'll watch from home.
I'm terrified of, dealing with other human beings who are flying and have forgotten all senses of decorum.
Yeah.
But like I would definitely consider getting on a plane for that. Like, oh, like all of the emotion.
I think
Especially,
it's gonna happen.
yeah. Oh,
SummerSlam, I bet.
yeah, like ideally, where did they was it Madison Square Garden? He was saying that his dad was where he the photo where Steve's holding the
Probably. It was probably MSG.
yeah. Like, can you imagine if it's that stadium, like wherever it was, like that arena, and Cody went? That's what they should do.
The thing with Madison Square Garden, though, they're always those like house shows, so it wouldn't be something that would be televised because I mean, they're big pay-per-views now. They're in like stadiums for that, and
Yeah.
I doubt it would be there, but that would be cool to see.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah. Do you have anything else for the Cody promo
No, I
booking?
think we pretty much covered everything there. And then as far as the rest of that night goes,
I
wah,
can't
wah.
even I can't even remember. I can't They closed it out with RK Bro, right? Or that was somewhere in there. They were on there.
No, they close it with Roman. Yeah, they closed it with Roman,
Oh
and
yeah,
he said that, and then we were supposed to be like, oh, we're gonna know what happens on SmackDown, and then
we didn't.
didn't. But in like, I thought that Cody was gonna come out and challenge him there, and like I remember we're waiting and waiting, and like just the little logo, and it was over, and we're like, oh, okay, I guess that's it. I
Hmm.
guess we'll see what happens Friday, and nothing happened Friday.
Well, Shinsuke.
Yeah, that's more
That
after the
was
Usos. Like,
yeah, it was
weird.
yeah.
Those
Like I
two,
hope that Shinsuke gets a full program with Roman. Like Shinsuke deserves it. I think they'll put on some good matches. Um,
oh, for sure.
so I don't think Shinsuke will win, but I still want to see that program.
I mean, it might be his opponent for Backlash because maybe they won't be doing the Brock and Roman rematch for the 897th time in our lives.
Yeah.
So maybe
I-
they are just using Nakamura right now as just a little
Palette cleanser.
transitional, yeah, like a transitional thing before we get in another big feud.
Yeah. I would absolutely like if Roman and Brock have another match, it has to be a Paul Heyman on a pole match. I will not stop saying this.
We want him in that shark cage
Tank.
above
Yeah.
the ring. Like,
Yep. I don't see him like bending the bars like China.
no, no, I don't see that either. Unless they gimmick the bars and make them like rubber. Like,
Yeah.
no.
I kind of just see him like, can you like all the facial expression selling he would be doing would be fantastic.
Oh,
But
for sure.
I also just see him like with his face against the bars looking like a sad dog. Like, oh.
Oh God. No, I want it.
It'd be worth it just to see Paul Heyman's face throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
100%. Um, so do we want to just there's not a ton with WWE this week, which is strange since it's,
The week after WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. We
I
did.
think Backlash has killed the week after WrestleMania because the Raw and SmackDowns after WrestleMania, that used to be where like the new feuds would be built and the new storylines would start. And since they've been doing this WrestleMania Backlash for what, this is the third one now, I think.
Second or third, yeah.
It just it doesn't have that same feeling for the Raw because like after WrestleMania, that it used to be like who's coming up and who's going to debut and what's going to happen and what's going to start. And now we don't get that because you get all the same matches in Backlash because Backlash is basically all the rematches from WrestleMania.
Mhm.
So there's not we don't have the reset anymore. That like it was like the beginning of a new season and it doesn't feel like that now.
Yeah. Um, I mean, we did get some call ups. Rochelle Gonzalez, who is now Rodriguez, or Raquel. Why did I say Rochelle? Raquel. Which I'm excited to see her on the main roster. She is great. I'm sad though that they split up her and Dakota Kai, who were a tag team. I really think they should have brought her up too. She's been in NXT forever at this point. And I mean, if they're building the women's tag division, those two would be good to have together. Just saying, it makes sense.
I still don't have high hopes for the women's tag division. They've done me dirty too many times now where I've completely lost trust. Like
I'm holding my breath. Holding my breath. Um, but yes, so they called her up, which there was a lot of chatter that she was going to be on her way up. Um, Walter was called up along with what's his face.
Oh, the other dude, they changed his name that I can't remember.
Yeah, he's like his valet, basically.
Yeah, one of the Imperium people.
Yeah.
And officially Ciampa is on Raw.
Mhm.
He's on the Raw roster now.
Yes. I
Which
feel like
surprises me because he's been pretty in the past was vocal saying like he didn't want to go up to the main roster.
I
Just
think
stay behind NXT as like a coach.
I think NXT probably changed so much he wanted to go up, is my guess.
Maybe.
Um,
But I
and
think all
maybe they excited him about like some people he could work with. Could be that too.
all the black and yellow's gone, aren't they? Like
Dakota
the
Kai is still there. And Io Shirai.
yeah.
But what is that guy? He was the millionaire who
Oh, that's when I stopped really watching NXT.
I can't remember his name, but he's still there. So is Dexter Loomis. Technically, he's still old.
I pretty much stopped watching NXT like 2019. That's kind of when I gave up on it.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. So the last of like the black and yellow for me is Champa. Like Arcano left, the Champa's gone now. Like everything I knew is dead.
Yeah. Well, Dakota Kai was definitely still was there in 2019.
Yeah.
She was she was a face though. She's definitely a face. She did that big turn in the first ever women's war games match.
Mhm.
She did that big turn and Shayna like walked to the ring like cackling the whole time like
You know, it's funny. I saw that match and I couldn't tell you anything that happened in it. I don't remember it at all.
oh, I loved it. There are so many moments in it that were fantastic. I think usually the women's war games matches as a whole are better than the men's. Certainly like the past 2 years, I would say. The men's I can never remember, but Io Shirai specifically always does something like extra.
The one that sticks out for me out of all the War Games matches is the one where Ciampa and Cole almost died. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that one. And then is that the same one that Kevin Owens was the special? No, that I think that was after it, where there was like they needed another guy and it was Owens, and I lost my shit because you know how much I love Kevin Owens.
Hmm.
To see him back in NXT again, it like made my little heart happy. They're the two that like stick out the most in my mind out of all of them.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I love how Kevin Owens did the whole my back was hurt and that's why I lost to the rattlesnake. Yeah, uh-huh. He has a bad back, bad neck, and bad knees.
I am so happy for him and Sammy. I think I said that this last week too, but like I'm just still so happy for both of them. They had two of the most talked about and best matches of the weekend,
Hmm.
and it just makes my heart happy because I love them.
Yeah, they did really well. You can see why they resigned.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, they're living their best lives.
I think it last night that I told you that we rewatched, or was it the night before? It was
I feel like it was last night.
yeah, we just decided because there was nothing else really on, and we're like, let's rewatch the Jackass match, and I swear to God, it's still just as good. Like it's still just as fun the second time.
Yeah.
My face hurt from how much I was like smiling through that whole match.
Yeah, I mean, this WrestleMania was the best one in a few years, like
Yeah.
overall. I mean, there were some again, at no point was there a match that was just absolutely terrible. They were just ones that you would see on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, some fell a little flat, but they weren't bad matches. I mean, I might argue the tag match with the New Day and that
But that's because they weren't given any time.
yeah, that wasn't their fault. That was more because they didn't have the time. So maybe I'd say that was the only bad match, but I don't blame that on anybody that was in it.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, the other speaking of people who have been called up from NXT, so they have taken poor, wonderful Pete Dunne, Butch, and not only is he now scrappy doing, but he is also throwing tantrums like a baby.
When they picked him up and put him in the corner of the ring like a 5-year-old child in timeout, I lost it. I could not stop laughing. What are they doing to him?
Pete Dunne is legitimately like a somewhat scary person to fight. Like he's gonna break all your fingers. Like Cameron Rhymes, that's the other guy's name. There we go. Sorry, it just came to mind. They had a match before Dunn was called up. And yeah, I can't. No. Please, they so happy that he's on TV. So very upset what they're doing to him.
I feel
And
like every time I look at him that I expect to see him on a street corner and going like extra, extra, read all about it. Titanic sunk, thousands dead. It just he looks like one of those little paper guys, you know, like the kids in those old movies, like, yeah, I might know about that, but it's gonna take a little bit to jog my memory. Like
yeah, that would yeah. I wouldn't be
I,
surprised if this week he said that exact line.
I ain't know nothing else. That's all you getting out of me. Like, it's just I don't know what this is. I don't know what this character is.
No, no, I I hate it. I hate it so much. So much.
It's
Like,
terrible.
oh,
It's terrible. Like terrible.
just put him back in the gear that he's supposed to be in, show off his weird bear tattooed on his knee. Like, that is the scariest thing about that man. He sat for a bear tattoo on his kneecap.
Cool.
Like, that says a lot about a person's pain level, like how much pain they can take. And that's the person you don't mess with.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's nope.
I hate to say it, but I feel like this is going to lead to him being future endeavored.
It had better not. Um,
I think
I I think he's one of those people that, so it seems like Triple H is coming back into the fold. And he sees a lot in Pete Dunne. So I would see, like, if they wanted to release him, I think Triple H would be like, we'll take him back in NXT. Like, I would easily see that happening. 100%.
I mean, he could go to Ring of Honor and do very well there. Like,
He does not belong on a, I know I just said he should go to, like, go back to NXT, but he does not belong on a developmental brand, which is what Ring of Honor is. He is a great wrestler and talent. I'm so upset.
I mean, Ring of Honor wasn't always developmental. Like it was
Well, no,
super.
but now it's probably going to be.
I don't know. Not after that show that we didn't get to see, but that the show that happened the Friday before WrestleMania
Mhm.
didn't seem like a developmental show. I mean, apparently one of the best tag team matches in ages happened with the Briscoes and FTR, which was only almost matched by that match on Wednesday between the Bucks and FTR, which
Oh, yeah.
holy shit, was that one of the best matches I have seen in a long time. That match was unbelievable. Um, I don't think ROH should be like a demotion. I think he can flourish there because
It's going to depend on what Tony Khan does with Ring of Honor, because there are rumors that he's going to turn it into the developmental brand for them, which, I mean, makes sense. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for like, to go ahead and do that. Um like, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't be upset, obviously, if they kept it like Ring of Honor level, like where they're at. Um
I wouldn't
it's
want to see him go back to this new pastel NXT either because that's basically raw light with the bullshit characters and like, it's not the NXT that he had come from. It's totally different.
yeah, yeah. I just want him to not be a newsboy. That's what I want.
I know. Really, every time I see him, that's all I think. Extra, extra, read all about it.
um and then we had someone come back being Lacey Evans, not in a match but in a promo. And I think it was very smart what they did. It's not necessarily a rebranding of her character, because she's been fairly open anyway, about her history. But I don't know if she's ever done a promo that was that open and raw about her past. There's definitely stuff on the network about Lacey Evans where they delve into her backstory. And she's just like an amazing human being, as far as, like, when they talk about Americans pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, like, Lacey Evans is probably the only person like that you can point to and be like, well, I guess that happened there. But yeah, she's just so inspirational, and you would think she'd be a lot nastier, based on and that she'd be a nasty based on all the shit she's had to go through. um but yeah, she's apparently also a lovely human being.
I despised her character before she left. Like despised it with everything I had in me. I didn't mind when she had that like brief little face run where
Mhm.
she was basically playing the character she's playing now, but just wearing like the retro clothes instead of fatigues. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I will give it a chance. I didn't not like the character of you nasty and the woman's right, and that's just a punch. And the I think what really ruined her for me was like the 5 years it felt like that her music would play and she would just walk down the ramp and walk back. Like I was at a live show where that happened, and it was just even more obnoxious seeing it live. So like I had a bad taste in my mouth with her from the go.
I don't know why they do that to women, like with Eva Marie, where she would come down and like this is the only way that I would ever compare Lacey Evans and Eva Marie. Where Eva Marie would come down to the ring, act like she was gonna wrestle, and then have a wardrobe malfunction and then go back, or she'd hurt her leg or whatever. Um, yeah. No, 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 no.
No, or like the shit that they did with Emma, was that her name? Where they changed her to like Emmeline or Emmeline or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
Where before Veer happened, that was the longest running like, oh, they're coming thing. But Veer finally beat that. Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about Veer finally showing up after 8 months.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, he looked like a BAMF, that's for sure. Very scary, everything he had going on there.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, okay, cool. We'll stop seeing those packages. Next.
Like, yep. Yeah. I think so. He seems he's got to be a safer wrestler than Omos.
I mean, that bar is like not even an inch off the ground.
Yeah, very true. That's basically, it's in the dirt.
Yeah. And I'm kind of bummed that they tore apart. I mean, it makes sense that they took MVP to go at Omos because Omos, he's not great on the mic.
Yeah, he needs someone.
But I very much like the pair of Lashley and MVP together. And now, like, it just felt like that was it. Now the Hurt Business is finally done. Like, it's finally completely done. And I really enjoyed them.
Yeah. And like, I really like Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is not always the greatest on the mic. Like you can tell he gets nervous sometimes, which is understandable, but MVP was needed.
Yeah. To be fair, Lashley has been better.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they felt confident enough that he doesn't need MVP as much as Omos does, but I still hold him strong that when we see that first thing of releases that usually happens after Mania, I'm pretty confident that we're going to see that Omos is on that.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be sad if that were to happen, but I don't want to say that I'm not that lucky because I don't want someone to lose their job. But I have no interest in any storyline with him ever.
No, he was fine when he was the dude that used to open the door for Shane for Raw After Dark, but as far as anything other than that,
Raw After Dark. Blah.
I mean, if AJ Styles, and I think we said this last week, if AJ Styles cannot make you look good, like you're
screwed.
You're not meant for this business.
No. Switching gears and popping over to the AEW side of things. Wheeler Yuta has really been getting treated like a little shining rising star, as he should.
Mm-hmm. I remember his name now, so that shows you how well they've been pushing him. Remember, I couldn't remember what the hell his name was.
Yeah. I mean, people were cheering for him.
They were really behind him.
Yeah, and I mean, going against Moxley too, like
that's impressive.
Yes. Although, man, that match was bloody.
Yeah, it was good though. I mean, and another thing, like Mox didn't pin him or submit. He passed out. Yeah. So like, they made him look really good by losing. It just, and how about when he got done and he wrote the BCC in his own blood on his chest?
Yeah.
Like, he's officially with them now. I mean, they all shook hands, and I mean, it looked like Regal was gonna beat his ass, and then he was like, "Nope."
As I was watching that, I was just like, Regal could probably murder him right now. And I would just be like, well, I guess Wheeler Yuta really was a bad guy.
William
Eh,
Regal could do no wrong.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's sad. Guess I misjudged that guy. Didn't misjudge William Regal, however.
I love when he's on commentary and like he says hi to everyone, but he refers to Excalibur as Man in the Mask. I don't
Yes.
know why, but that kills me every week.
Just William Regal on commentary in general, like he should do that more often.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I love listening to him speak. Like,
Mhm. Yes. All Americans, I'm sure, are just like, yes, talk more, British man.
it's not only that, because I mean, I the company I work with, I hear a lot of British speaking people daily. So I'm very
Mhm.
much used to it, but he's one that just has a very pleasant ear sound, like just the tone of his voice and smooth way that he speaks. Like he hits your ear the right way.
Yeah. William Regal is just an amazing personality in general. He
Yeah.
could do whatever he wants at this point in his career. Like, you want to do audiobooks? Go ahead. Like,
I'd listen.
mhm. Oh, 100%. I imagine he'd do some great voices. I also, do you remember, like, I don't know if this still happens to him, but when he was an active wrestler and he had like the shorter hair and he was wrestling in WWE and he had the red trunks.
Mhm.
Do you remember sometimes he would get like really heated and his lips would go blue?
No,
Like, he'd be talking and his lips, like, they'd be like blue almost.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Yeah.
Go back and look at some old footage.
Yeah. Like when he was really like getting into it. I think it might have been when he had oh, why can't I think of his name? He did the tarantula thing in the ropes. He was his assistant, had the storyline with Tori Wilson. He's dating her.
I'm
Everyone got so excited when he came back for a Royal Rumble. I absolutely love this guy and I can't remember his name right now.
It's not Hurricane
No.
Helms, right? Okay.
No, he's Japanese. He would do the mist.
That doesn't narrow it down with some Japanese. What was? I'm sorry. It just
Oh,
sounded like a part of a building fell down.
oh.
Okay.
Well, if you hear
Yeah, that was pretty alarming. Anyway, I can't remember who you're talking about.
I will remember probably in 10 minutes and just shout it out like the Tourette's that I have. Um I can't believe I can't remember his name. Yeah, when William Regal was the GM, this guy was always having to like help him out. Like, his manservant is how he basically started out, and then he started fighting in the ring. Nothing? No.
Hang on. I will find out in a second.
Yeah, thank you, because it's gonna drive me bonkers. I think I just like summarized the man's entire WWE career. And he had the like loose pants.
Tajiri.
Tajiri, there we go. There we go. Yes, him.
Got it.
I'm always with him. I love Tajiri. Could not remember his name.
That's fine. I can't remember anything after like 2010, apparently. So, or before 2010. So, yay, old age.
We'll get you a walker. It'll be fine.
Apparently, I'm getting dementia at 37. Yay.
The wrestling dementia.
There's just so much. Like, there's so much of it. And when even like when you start watching in 1989, and even though I had like a 10-year period I didn't watch, like I missed the whole ruthless aggression era basically. There's still so much and so many people that sometimes things just have been pushed out by other things.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some things that like I don't remember until like once someone starts talking about it, I'll generally remember. But
Mhm.
until that clicks, I just look like, oh, what?
Like I'm always so impressed by people, like for example, like Cultaholic, and they'll be talking about like a match or something, and like Matthew is like, "Oh yeah, that was the WrestleMania 13." Like not even like one that was like a huge. He just immediately knows, and I'm like, how does this dude have this memory for this shit?
It's
Like,
probably from writing all of the things for the website and having to like look at cards and things. But
mm,
there are people like that. Like I'm sure Dave Meltzer probably can just like rattle off every match that's ever happened in order on any WrestleMania.
right? I don't understand how people like I can't even remember what happened in WrestleMania like 4 years ago. Like, unless I go back and like look at the card and then I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. But like just off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. No, no. You can ask me like, oh, what WrestleMania did this match happen at? I'd be like, I don't even know. Like, I can guess how old I was ish.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with people that can just rattle that off without having to be like, hang on a second, I'll let you know, and like try not to make it obvious that they're looking on their phone.
Hmm. I can tell you what most of the state's capitals are, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not great at that either. I always remembered Providence, Rhode Island, because when I was a kid, I grew up on Providence Road.
Ah, that will help you. Uh, so we also oh,
Oh, sorry. I feel like I have a little tickle in my throat. Just one moment.
mhm, no worries. Ugh,
Okay, I think I'm better.
all righty.
Allergy season. Sorry about that.
Don't lie. It's all the vids,
That's exactly.
all 19 of them.
I
That's not
didn't
how
take,
COVID-19 works, everyone, by the way.
no, I didn't take my allergy medicine yet today, so I can feel it starting to build back up.
Yeah, mine hit me. Last week I went on vacation up to see a friend in Massachusetts, and basically as soon as I stepped a foot out of the car,
Mm.
like everything was just like, oh, these are not the allergens you're used to.
Yeah,
And yeah,
not fun.
no, no, I had to go buy allergy medicine because I didn't bring any with me because I shouldn't need to start taking it until like the first week of May here.
Oh, no, not me. It was about a week ago that I started going, yep, pollinating is starting to happen a little bit.
It's not until like it looks like there's sperm flying through the air with those trees that I need to take allergy medicine. That's when as soon as I see the air sperm, that's when I have to be like, gotta go get the Benadryl.
Well, apparently, our area, the Scranton area, has the highest amount of allergies, like people with allergies in the country because of the diversity of like the fauna in our area. Like we have so many different like plants, flowers, bushes, like different stuff that we have
Beautiful
more,
place, very allergy heavy.
right? We have more allergies here than any other part of the country.
There's a joke with me and some friends that you can't hang out with us unless you have a weird allergy. For example, I'm allergic to oranges, just oranges, no other citrus, and Belgium chocolate, just Belgium chocolate, no other chocolate. A friend is allergic. I have a friend who's allergic to shea butter. Another friend who she's allergic to mint, but she's developed a new allergy. It's most likely corn, which is, if that is the case, will suck a lot. Um,
Yeah, a lot of things are made with corn. Like,
yeah, another one's allergic to eggplant, and
oh, that's a
and then
bummer.
yeah, and then Nom has the birch allergy. So that's apples, um, avocados,
Oh,
yeah, almonds if they're like his isn't so severe. So as long as they're like prepared, except for apples, apples he can't, even if they've been cooked or anything. But
sucks.
Yeah. Fun times. I was at our old job actually when I discovered my allergy to oranges
Oh,
because
good
I was
out.
eating one.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, yes. Allergies, coughing. That's how we got here.
Yeah, I had a for coughing. Sorry.
No worries. So the other thing that we had, of course, was Samoa Joe popping up. Joe, 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 Joe. And yes, every time he comes out, I do that chant. It doesn't matter where I am.
Fun fact, the only championship that he won on the main roster, I was there for,
Oh,
because
cool.
he won it here. It was the US title, and he won it at the arena in Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
So we got to see him win his first and only main roster championship.
Yeah.
I think it was off of Ray. I'm almost positive it was off of Ray.
I think so. Um,
That crowd went fucking nuts for him when he won.
oh
Oh
yeah.
my God. They went insane for him. I was so happy that because the Northeast is very smarky, like wrestling, Philly, New York.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not at all. I mean, obviously when the shows here in Scranton, like you do get a lot of people that are at like the New York and Philly shows, so you have a smarky crowd. And I was just so happy that he won it in this area where people like gave him the proper response that Joe fucking deserves.
Yeah. 100%. And people of course lost their minds when he came out on in AEW because it's Samoa Joe. And I have to say the what is his name from the Acclaimed?
Max Caster.
There we go. I was like, the guy with the headphones.
It was just there, like Max.
Yeah. Who John Cena is apparently a big fan of his.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. John Cena put him over like big.
Yeah, did he say something like he's doing what I tried to do, but like much better? Like
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. And so the stuff that he said like about Samoa Joe on the way out, I was like, ooh, damn. And I was like, I can't imagine like in real life making someone like Samoa Joe mad and then being like, let's go, buddy.
Joe's gonna kill you. Like
Yep.
that line when we were beating them in the ratings, that's just like this guy was their champ. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, oh shit.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's true. Woo-hoo.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was some tea that was spilled.
Like the vapors.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, Joe might actually really throw a couple real ones at this kid for that.
And that's why he doesn't have any teeth left. He'll be gumming his lyrics for a while until the dentures are in.
That was a fun Dynamite overall. Like I enjoyed it. I mean, for me, the highlight was the tag match though, because holy shit, like
Was it just me or like this week's overall AEW? And as I was thinking about it, I was wondering if it was because there wasn't a debut. It seemed like not that much happened, but I feel like that's not right.
I mean, there wasn't any like huge surprises. You can argue Joe, but everybody knew that Joe was around
Yeah.
because of Ring of Honor, and I think it was tweeted earlier that day too that Joe was going to be on Dynamite. So yeah, you're right. Like there wasn't like crazy debut, like not like, something that was like hyped up in a secret for a while or anything like that. It was just a straightforward, just good show. Like
And I think like the other thing is like maybe like a lot of things aren't sticking out to me because like Orange Cassidy is injured right now. Um, there wasn't a lot of stuff with the women. I mean, they started the Owen Hart Classic, but like not with the women that I like to follow. There wasn't a lot there. Did you see Layla Hurst is hurt?
Yeah, I heard about that. She got hurt. What, on Dark, was it?
I think so, yeah. Her leg, her knee, something like that.
That's a bummer because they were really starting to do something with her in this heel turn too.
Yeah. So not only will that derail her for a bit, I mean, the people that she was feuding
Working with.
against too. Yeah. But
Which I think was Statlander, right? That was like the main.
her and Velvet Sky.
Yeah.
Oh.
Red Velvet.
Or yeah, Red Velvet. Sorry. Yeah.
Right.
There's too many Velvet names in wrestling in general.
There's a lot of names. Think of all the like cages and pages that are
Yes,
just
in AEW.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. No more pages. There's one female page with her first name, and there's too many guys page with the last name.
Sure.
Unless you're DDP's son or daughter, because he only has daughters, you cannot move forward with that name. Hangman obviously has it, and he's the champ. So I guess when his kids are older, if they become a wrestler, they can use it too. Otherwise, they're done. No more.
I think they're really looking at breaking Hangman away from the Dark Order too. There was on BT today. I didn't really get to see most of it because I was working and it was put on while I was working, so I couldn't really pay attention. But it looked like the Dark Order was like writing a bunch of like mean stuff about Hangman down. And he found it and looked at it and pocketed it. So I'm wondering if they're gonna start breaking him away and maybe start leading up towards him and the Bucks kind of getting back together.
So unrelated but related. A friend of mine, when we were in college, she was seeing this guy and she wasn't sure she wanted to keep seeing him. So she made a pros and cons list and then she had thrown it out and decided to keep seeing him. And he happened to be at her place. And when she was in the shower, he went through her garbage and found the list and pocketed it and left. But like let her know that he found the list. I think he had like left garbage strewn around her room and that's how she figured it out. And she was just like, what the hell? And
Who goes through someone's garbage?
Yeah. So people do stuff like that in real life.
Yikes.
Yeah. Speaking of people doing and saying weird things, did you know that there are bots on the internet? I was so confused at first because I think the same way you heard about it maybe was Cultaholic covered it. Like I saw the tweet from Tony Khan.
No, I just saw the tweets.
I saw the tweet from Tony Khan, and then I saw one from Becky Lynch quoting, like saying basically the same thing about booze. But when he put that out there, I was just like, this is really weird, dude. Like, yeah, it's assumed really that like some of the things that for anybody in the public eye or any company, any negative things, any positive things too that are being said, some of it is going to be driven by bots. Like it's 2022.
Yeah.
But not everything that is negative that is being said about your company are bots.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that hate one company or the other. The tribalism is very much real.
Yeah. And also like there are some very real critiques and of both brands. Like you can love something and still be like, you're doing this wrong. For example, how they're booking the women's division. Hello, Oliver.
We have a guest star.
Yes. This, by the way, is what Cheddar goes nuts over. Oliver's tail.
Oh.
yeah, it was and then like when he elaborated on it, it did not make it any better. Saying that
Sometimes,
like, and as as someone who has a master's degree, which what any master's degree basically means is you have a degree in research and you know how to do it. So the second he said like an independent study, and I was like, uh-huh. And then he said that I was like, I guarantee the independent study is something that you paid for, therefore the results are biased. Like anytime that someone purchases a study, that's going to skew the results. Um, but also, I can't believe he paid for something like that because again, it's the year
oh,
2022.
you're frozen.
Huh?
Oh, you're back. Okay, you
Oh,
froze on me for a
oh,
second.
sorry.
No, probably my fault. My internet's been bad all day. Like it was impossible at work. It ran so slow, so it's probably me. But yeah, sometimes Tony Khan goes on some Pez dispenser induced rants on Twitter
Pixie
and
sticks. Yeah, he downs a lot of pixie sticks and takes a lot of Pez and
Mountain Dew.
mhm.
You know, that it's not always a good look. And it's not a good look when even people in your own company are making tweets making fun of it, i.e., Evil Uno made one that, Evil Uno has conducted an independent study and he did the whole thing too. Um, I mean, uh, I like Tony Khan. I think that he does have a great mind for wrestling. He is a fan that can book and
I think he just needs to
chill.
stop taking the Pez, the Mountain Dew, and the pixie sticks and maybe get some sleep.
Yeah, I think at this point, he has proved that he created a successful company that could be legit competition. And I think he needs to focus more on growing his own company and brand instead of constantly going after the other company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was funny at first because they were new and it was like the first legitimate like company in a while to come into competition with them. And like WWE was bad when AEW was first coming up. Like it was just bad. It was unwatchable. We weren't doing this podcast. There were so many times that I skipped it or would just like check recaps on what I missed, and it was never anything because it was the same shit every week. You could miss Raw 2 weeks in a row, pick back up, and it'd be the same shit that happened 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny at first, but now maybe let's lay off a little bit and just like have the two things be separate and be their own thing.
Yeah, like there's very few people who can get away with occasionally referencing WWE, like CM Punk, because I mean,
Yeah.
the lore of CM Punk is so steeped in how much he hates WWE. Um, like he can get away with it. Um,
Jericho.
Jericho, but he's not even directly referencing he is, but he isn't like the superstar thing and all of that.
He's never really directly influenced or like mentioned them, but he's definitely taken shots.
Yeah.
Like the whole bad idea from like or stupid idea from Bad Creative thing that he said, and now this whole like sports entertainer thing that he's doing, and
Sports entertainer of the week.
oh my god, I laugh every time. But I mean, he can get away with that. And I mean, if Brian wanted to, he could too, but he doesn't because he doesn't have hard feelings. He just wanted an option to do more than WWE would allow him to do.
And I think he wanted a lighter schedule.
He wants to he wants to do something with New Japan.
Yeah.
That's why WWE was going hard trying to get something together with New Japan because they didn't want to lose Brian. I mean, why would you want to? He's arguably one of the largest stars in
The
that
world.
business in the world. And Tony Khan got there first. They're definitely working with AEW because AEW is now airing on New Japan World and they have their own commentators that are doing like Japanese commentary for it. And I think that Brian like wants to do like the G1 and do shit like that. And
Mhm.
so he doesn't have hard feelings. He just wanted to do more stuff that he can't do.
Yeah, and I mean also like his father-in-law is,
Yeah,
Johnny Ace. And his wife and sister-in-law are, I think they're on Legends contracts or whatever it is.
I think
They're
so.
they're under something like that. So I mean, it definitely wouldn't be taken out on Brie by any means, but like I don't like, it's just not a good idea regardless. And I that's just not all, that's also not who he is as a person.
Yeah.
But like MJF and Max Caster are the only other two I can think of that can make those references and have them be okay. And Max Caster does not hit 100% with like the stuff that he says. MJF
Mm-mm.
does better with that, although MJF doesn't have to make his stuff rhyme. So,
True. Very true.
but yeah, I agree. They need to, at some point you stop being like the underdog that's saying these kitschy little things, and at some point kind of becomes bullying almost. Like I'm not like the feeling behind it becomes bullying-ish, not that anyone's not that companies can bully other companies, but you know what I mean. Like it gets that like ugh feeling behind it.
I feel like this coinciding with Cody, I I feel like that might also have had something to do with that. The fact that, you know, he's gone and Cody felt like the heart of AEW. And it definitely feels like something's missing without him there now.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing him over in WWE and like same music, same characters, same promos, like I'm sure that that might have been a little bit of a nudge that kind of made him go off the deep end a little bit with that too. I'm sure he's not really handling that too well because, like many people have said, that is the biggest mistake that he has made so far is
Letting him go.
yep, not trying to. I mean, we don't know. Maybe he did try, and maybe Cody was just adamant on getting the title that was connected to his dad. I mean, that could have. Nobody really knows besides those two
Yeah.
why.
And Cody's made it very clear he's not going to be the one talking about it. So, which is, his right. And I heard that there's a chance Brandy will be coming on, like they're in talks with that. I think they're gonna have to give her some sort of deal because she has the show that is separate of WWE now. But I mean, they've done it before. They're doing that shit with Logan Paul now. Which the idea that they can turn him face is not a possibility
Do they not
unless
know that he took a video with a dead body for likes? Like, are they not aware that like there's no fucking
probably not.
chance that anyone's gonna view him as a face? Like,
Like, yeah, I maybe they're hoping to like Men in Black us all.
yeah, they hope that a lot with a lot of things, and this is bigger than WWE. That was huge news. That was something that everybody heard about. That's something, no matter what you're into, wrestling or not, everyone knows that Logan Paul is a fucking douchebag.
Yeah,
They're not
him and
gonna
his
do it.
moron brother.
Ugh. But weirdly enough to say that Jake is like the lesser asshole of the two of them.
Like just yeah. When people when people talk about I've never in my life heard someone. The only reason I know the name Logan Paul is because he's a dick bag. Like that's it. That's the only reason. I think that's the only reason most people know that name.
I first heard of him. I don't know if you used to watch or the H3H3 with Ethan. That's fallen off too, but it was like a reaction channel with um they started off I think as like were they married the whole time? I don't know. It's a husband and wife. And they used to pull up like YouTube videos of like the prank people that would be like, just a prank, bro, and like react to it and talk about like what assholes they are.
Mhm.
And Logan Paul is someone that has showed up on their channel when their channel was still good, and that's how I heard of Logan Paul, was through that. And so I've known for years that he was just a fucking idiot. Like, why would I don't know. I still don't understand it. And if they think that they're gonna turn him face, that's the funniest shit I've heard in a while.
And it's not, it's that he wanted to be turned face. Like
Please.
WWE was probably like, sure, we'll try.
Ain't gonna happen.
Like, I don't even know, like, there's no part of the country I think that you could bring him to that would cheer for him. Because he's been in different parts with WWE and he gets the same reaction. Boo.
Yep. It doesn't matter if it is like Northeast or if it's Middle America or they cheer anybody. And like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter where or when, it's Logan Paul. And unless it's him bowing out of public life, he's not going to get any cheers.
right? Unless he just disappears.
Yeah.
I'll cheer for that.
I'm never coming back. Woo! More of this. More of this.
And the fact that he was like a grown man with a fan base primarily of like kids.
Children. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little skeevy too. Like, that's just, let me wave the red flag.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's not like, I mean, there are people who do, like, for their jobs are like princesses or whatever, things like that, or face painters for birthday parties and have YouTube or TikToks. Those are a little bit different because it's their career and it's like creative character, and it's not skeevy. Like,
Yeah.
in any way, it's like wholesome fun. Getting your
No.
face painted, or meeting Elsa.
Right. Yeah, it's not like enjoying having preteen and teen girls screaming over you. That's just weird when like that's just you were 20, he's probably about 30 now, I would assume, but like you were a 20-some-year-old man that is making content so tweens and teens could go, just no, that's just a giant red flag.
Yeah, Logan Paul is 27.
Okay. Yeah, I figured he had to be close to 30 now.
Yeah, I thought he was older than that. He does not look good for his age.
No, he does not.
Just throwing that out there. Evil on the inside doesn't do well to the skin. It doesn't matter if you have the most expensive Pokemon card in the world, you're still a douchebag.
Oh God, that was obnoxious too.
Yep, just wore it down in the ring.
Yep. And you know me, I like nerdy things. That just pissed me off. I was like, that's obnoxious.
Yep. On to happier news. There were a lot of, there were two at least wrestling weddings that happened after WrestleMania. The first one being Corey Graves and Carmella, and the other one being Alexa Bliss and what is her?
Ryan Cabrera.
Yeah. Their wedding. As I've seen pictures from it, I got so excited when I first saw that Sarah Michelle Gellar, because of Freddie Prinze Jr., went, as did Seth Green. And I was like, oh my God, Buffy and Oz are at Alexa Bliss's wedding. My two fandoms are colliding. And if you know anything from this podcast, it's that I live for those things to happen.
I had no idea Sarah Michelle Gellar was with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, they've been married since the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been together a very long time. They have, I think, 2 little girls. Don't quote me on that, but
I had no idea. Good for
yeah.
them.
Yeah. I think they were together before Scooby-Doo, I believe.
Well, they were in I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm assuming that's probably where they met.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo is talked about way more in this podcast than I ever thought it would be.
We were talking about Scrappy Dude Butch before. Let me
Yeah.
at him. Let me at him.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yes. And then I saw there was a video that Mojo Raleigh posted of him and Braun Strowman dancing with Alexa. And I swear to God, it was to the song Pony, or something like that. It might not have been Pony, but it was something along those lines.
Oh
And
my
in the
god.
and in the back, I see JC, who's on Kid Craddock in the morning. And then some other photos I saw included Lance Bass and another guy from NSYNC. Like it was just a star-studded event. I mean, there were tons of wrestlers too. I think Nia Jax and The Miz were both in the wedding.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know who else was in the wedding. That's all I got on that one. But yeah, yeah.
Good for
Um,
her.
yeah. And apparently they named their wedding the shit show. Like when you got there was a thing that said welcome to the shit show.
It's cute.
Yeah. Um, one of the things I learned, because I guess People magazine had an exclusive to their wedding, and I'm a big Alexa Bliss fan if you didn't pick up on that. So of course I read the exclusive, and I guess he proposed to her by writing her a song.
Aw.
And yeah, and and he like sobbed as she came down the aisle, and they just seem like a couple that is so in love. Very, very sweet. And I think so they met because of the show Ms. and Mrs. So it was through Ms. basically, because Ryan Cabrera had been on the show.
Mm.
Or maybe it wasn't Ms. and Mrs. Maybe it was when Maurice was doing Total Divas. But he said like his social media person started liking all and following all these wrestlers, and apparently whoever it was, he said they must have had a crush on Alexa Bliss because they were liking everything of hers to the point where she said something about it.
Oh my god.
She was like at least 3 times a week I was getting Ryan Cabrera liked your tweet, Ryan Cabrera liked your photo on Instagram.
And it wasn't even him. That's too funny.
Yeah. Bowling for Soup was also at their wedding, which makes a lot of sense since they wrote the Alexa Bliss song.
Yep.
So it was, I don't know. I always enjoy seeing stuff like that when wrestling combines with other things.
Mhm.
And it's like Where's Waldo of famous people? But you
Yeah,
don't know who Waldo is.
I like when wrestling and fandom collides. That's always fun.
Yes. Um,
I
yeah.
probably have more of a chance of that happening with like Adam Cole and Kenny and like Woods than I do with, like Alexa Bliss.
Well, I mean, I don't think you were, yeah, you've said before you weren't really that into boy bands to begin with. So,
And I was not into Buffy because hashtag not my Buffy. My Buffy was the
oh.
one with Luke Perry in it. I was obsessed with that movie. And then the show was so different. It was like so much darker and not as funny. And I couldn't do it because I loved the movie. I used to watch the movie like every day. Like literally, like I come home from school and my little VHS tape, and I would sit like come home and watch Buffy. Loved it.
Have
And
you watched it as an adult?
I still refuse. I remember my mother was like, "Oh yeah, they came out with a Buffy show," and I was probably like a teenager at that
Oh
point.
no, I mean, have you watched the Buffy movie as an adult?
No, there's some
Don't do
movies
it.
I won't watch. Um, that is one of them. I will keep my happy memories. And
It's
another one
filthy.
is it. Another one I won't rewatch is the Super Mario Brothers movie that like John Leguizamo as Luigi in it. That is famous for being horrible, a horrible, horrible movie. But I loved it as a kid and I won't rewatch it because I've been told don't because it'll ruin it.
I did not see that. So yeah, it's always so sad when like you rewatch things as an adult and you're just like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, I haven't. Oh my God, I probably haven't seen the Buffy movie in legitimately like 25 years.
I watched it at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, so really recent.
Hmm. It's it did not age well. It is hilarious, but sometimes like it's meant to be campy.
Mhm.
Um, and in season one of the show, like they do callbacks to it, but it's so ridiculous, like it's hilariously so.
One part that I've seen since, because I've seen it like on different like internet things, is Pee Wee Herman. I can't think of his real name, like his death thing.
Oh yeah. Ew.
I
Oh, 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 ah.
I still find that funny. Like even if I come across it now, because it's so overly done and like. But no,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the rest of that movie in like honestly 20-25 years.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Uh, as I said, keep your memories. If you do get dementia, go ahead and watch it. You'll probably enjoy it then.
I mean, it feels like it sometimes. I'm sitting here like, what happened on SmackDown? That was only like 4 days ago.
I mean, that's also the problem in a lot of ways. Like there's so much wrestling now that it's hard to keep like remember, but
Mhm.
also like when the shows are crap,
Yeah.
why I can give that space to something else in my brain.
Like SmackDown and Raw were so disappointing. I had high hopes, and I haven't had my hopes up for anything in WWE in a while because I've lost trust. But like,
And like the Iron Woman match that they Charlotte can definitely do an hour long match against someone.
mhm,
I don't want to see Ronda Rousey for an hour or like even 30 minutes. I don't know.
no,
Charlotte,
Ron, like,
Charlotte and any of the four horsewomen, yes. Charlotte and Bianca Belair,
yeah.
yes. Like
Oh, Bianca,
Belair, yeah. I was like, what?
my mind went to Ronda. I'm still trying to comprehend
Oh,
how she's going to be in a 30, or I'm sorry, not 30, a 60-minute match.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, not her. No.
No, 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 no.
God. Like,
She's one of those people that are put her in for like 10 to 12 minutes and it'll look like a decent match. Anything longer than that, then you start seeing that she's not a wrestler.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how good you are as an athlete, she's not going to be able to get to that point where she can pull off a 60-minute match. Like,
And good wrestlers can only carry someone so far.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, Charlotte's one of the best, but like she can't do an hour-long match by herself. That's asking too much of anyone. Daniel Bryan couldn't do that. AJ Styles couldn't. Kenny Omega couldn't. And that's saying something because that man made a doll look like it was fighting him. Like,
So did Bush.
yeah, yeah. Um, but or the little
Indeed.
girl. Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be anywhere near what Sasha and Bailey did. It's not even going to come close.
No, it's gonna be forgotten about except when people talk about not good things,
Yeah. And I,
which Charlotte deserves better.
yeah, I agree 100%. If they were going to put her in this kind of a match with somebody, like you said, like Bailey, Sasha, Becky, Bianca,
Alexa Bliss, even like she can go, although she hasn't been in, I don't know what she's been doing backstage or not backstage, but in her free time, but like she hasn't been like in a ring in a while on TV.
I don't even know if at her height that she would be good for like an Iron Man match either. Alexa,
Are you trying to say there's something wrong with short people?
no, I don't dislike her, but she's another one that shouldn't be in long matches because then you start seeing her weak spot. She has like three good moves and then she gets hurt. she gets hurt in almost every match that she's in, and I don't want to see her in a 60-minute match because I'm afraid she'll get hurt.
Mm,
She's very she's someone that's very accident prone, it seems, because it seems like every time that she has a match, it's another concussion or she did something or she's out again. Like just awful luck.
yeah, I don't remember. Well, it's also been a while since she's like wrestled, which might be why I'm not remembering.
She because of injuries, like she gets a
Well,
she
she asked for like months off. Like the reason she wasn't on TV for so long was because she asked for that time off for her mental health
but
and for her wedding, like the planet.
like before that, she was it was a lot of like neck and head and concussion stuff that was taking her out, and I don't want to see her in a 60-minute match because I scared for her. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she can do definitely things where like maybe if it's more than two people, but like I mean, I would rather see her than Ronda Rousey.
yeah, Asuka. I mean,
Oscar, oh
please,
yes.
like, please, can we? Where the hell is she? Like, where is Asuka?
Hashtag where's Oscar?
Right? I I miss her so much. For someone that was like an MVP of the Thunder, like not Thunderdome, but the Performance Center era,
Mm-hmm.
like her and Bailey, they carried that company through that whole period. Those two were the best things going about that whole period. And for neither of them to be around now, where are they? Like,
Well, they hurt themselves carrying that entire company.
yeah, I guess both of them broke their backs and had to recover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But they should both be coming back soon.
Oh, I hope. And I hope that they're not in
Very
a,
soon.
like, I'd like to see them in some decent feuds too, not like any.
They just fight each other, which I'd be fine with actually.
I
Like,
don't think they've ever feuded.
yeah. So I'd be they just both come back and they just run at each other.
I'd be fine seeing something totally new. I mean, Asuka has, I think that's the only one that she's never feuded with.
Oh, the horsewomen?
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
at
because I
least
think they were heels at the same time and faces at the well, not faces at the same time. I think they, yeah, I don't think they ever feuded.
I don't think Becky really either. They were supposed to, but then Becky got pregnant because Asuka won the money in the bank, and that was going to lead to her, obviously, with Becky. And then Becky got pregnant, and with her winning money in the bank, it was just Asuka was champion.
I feel like they did some. I feel like they did at some point wrestle each other, or maybe where they were in a tag match together, like
But
on the
not like
same
a
team.
but not like a proper feud. Like
Yeah, they didn't have a feud. I don't recall, but oh yeah, oh that was such a great moment though. I mean, I was so happy and so sad at the same time that Becky, she was gonna have a baby and that Asuka won the championship and happy for that. But I was like, I don't want to not see Becky Lynch for a year.
the way that
I'm
Oscar
selfish.
the way Oscar responded to that when she was like, "Your mother,"
Mhm.
that made me choke up. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh my god, she was so genuinely happy for her. It was so heartwarming.
Yeah. And but a lot of people don't know it. Oscar herself is a mom.
Mhm.
Um, and she keeps like she's very good at keeping her private life private, even though she has her YouTube show.
I love it.
Yeah.
So great.
Um, but yeah, she and apparently, I mean, Becky Lynch kind of blew her cover when she said what a great mother Asuka is, and she asks her for a lot of advice. So it's just like, well, if Asuka was trying to keep that under wraps, Becky Lynch just said that on national television because it was on like a Good Morning America or something.
That's sweet though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I hope she comes back soon. I miss Asuka.
Yeah, we are ready for Asuka.
Yeah, damn it, right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe in 5 minutes or so.
Yes. So we Demetis Oliver. we moved our segment to weird wrestling paraphernalia to the end because why not? So if you're just listening to this, if you don't like hearing me poorly describe things, you can sign off now. But I just got my first all elite crate. So we'll see if this was worth the money because I don't even remember what's supposed to be in here. This
That's the
came,
best.
yeah, this came today. I have not opened it yet, so we'll see. What do we have here? Oh, it's an Adam Cole shirt.
Baby.
I don't have any of his shirts, so
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Very nice.
very nice. And it feels like it's there's 2 shirts in here. Okay.
Oh, get out.
Yeah. Oh, Double or Nothing is May 29th. Very helpful. Oh, these are Dark Order playing cards.
Oh, cool.
Just,
I thought they were tarot cards for a second. I was like, what?
they're just playing cards, right? Well, now I'm gonna have to open these and figure that out.
No, they probably are, but when you first pulled them out, I thought they were tarot cards.
Yeah, let's see. Then we have another shirt, which is Hangman shirt.
Oh, sweet.
I probably could have. These are a medium. Jesus, this is a medium.
Is it really?
Yeah. Like, yes, this is a medium. It's a very, not all wrestling fans are large men. This will easily cover my butt, like past my butt. Oh, okay. So Thunder Rosa sticker.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Oh, this is cool. It's a Double or Nothing chip pin.
Nice. Is that the theme of the box, I'm assuming?
I guess so. And this is a micro brawler of Eddie Kingston.
Oh, my Eddie.
And Best of All Elite Wrestling Dark Volume 1. This is a DVD.
Huh.
Is it a DVD? Do I have? I don't think I have a DVD player anymore.
I do somewhere.
I
I think Xbox plays them too.
And then a poster. Jesus.
Oh, is that like an old school like promotion poster?
Yeah, it's Stadium Stampede.
Oh.
Back in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh my god, that match was so much fun.
Yeah. Okay, Oliver.
That was 2 years ago already. Wow.
Was it? And
That's
then, oh my God, still not done.
No. Is that QT Marshall?
Yep.
He hit the jackpot with that one.
But then also,
Oh, nice.
yeah, a 10 autograph. But yeah, I mean they're certified at the bottom. But yeah, that's why I started laughing. I was like, oh boy. I mean, to be fair, I would never have this otherwise. I might have got this one at some point, but not this one.
Oh boy.
I mean, this is a lot of stuff, and I don't remember how much I paid for this. I think I purchased this for myself for Christmas, so I think I did the year.
Okay.
So I have no idea when the next one is. I think it's quarterly. Is
that's the first one then?
Yeah, this is a DVD.
Huh.
I don't know how I feel about this, especially so this is my only complaint about this box. This dark matches, right? These are free on YouTube. These are free on YouTube. It should have been a collection from Dynamite.
It's the best of though.
It's the best of things you can find for free on the internet. And so What they have are hashtag Strong Hearts versus the Young Bucks. Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus Kenny Omega. Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal. Big Swole and Chris Statlander versus Dr. Britt Baker and Rio. Dark Orders, Evil Uno, Allen 5, Angels, Colt Cabana versus Death Triangle. Robert Anthony versus John Moxley, Kip Sabian versus Joey Janela, Brian Pill Jr. versus Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin versus Cima? CIMA? No idea. But it's pictured here because it's the only one with Darby Allin. Still no idea who that guy is. But yeah. I mean, it's still really good. No one has DVD players anymore. I think do not Xboxes. Yeah, is it X? No. What is
PlayStation?
PlayStations? I think they play DVDs, right?
I know our Xbox does.
Yeah.
DVDs and Blu-rays. Well, I don't know about the newest one. I know that our Xbox One played both. I don't know if the Series X that we have. I don't know. I'll have to ask.
Yeah. This pin is beautiful. And I have a little pin collection thing, so I'll put that on it. But yeah, this is great. Here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to
like glittery in the
middle. Glittery in the middle. So it's double or nothing. It's beautiful.
Nice.
And the shirts are a nice material. They're just huge. Thank God. Like I just went with a medium. It's definitely, I went with the medium because of the incident. Oh no, it wouldn't have been because I got this after I got the Kenny Omega Young Buck shirt. That's huge on me.
Are those crates through Pro Wrestling Tees?
Through Shop AEW.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure the shirts are still through.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
The AEW shop is through Pro Wrestling Tees. That's just a separate little section.
Yeah. I'm excited about this Adam Cole shirt. Although I don't necessarily know if I'll be walking around with this shirt on in public. Like
yeah, there's other Adam Cole shirts that I would wear over that one.
Yeah. This one, when they talk about shirts being made for like the male gaze, that this is definitely one of those. Like when they did one with The Rock where he's like all ripped and muscly and it's like, this is for the male gaze. Men want to look at this because it was like one where he was like too muscly almost because he had just got done like working out or whatever. And then there's one where he has like a nice soft shirt on and he looks like someone that would be great to go get a coffee with.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Where one was on like Fitness Magazine or something, and the other one was on like People, and
yeah, and you can tell who like the audiences are. It's just like, yep. Yeah, there's a big difference. This shirt was meant for a dude.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before, like showing the side by side because he's like got the nice smile on, like a nice little like cream sweater, and he's like in the other one, he's like,
I just ate an antelope.
Whole.
One bite. Yeah.
Raw. I did not smell what The Rock was cooking.
Exactly. So, yes. Overall, I would definitely say that the crate is definitely worth getting. Be wary of the sizing. Whatever your pro wrestling tee size is, if you're a woman and it's not something in women's sizing, go off of that. But yes, I'm a fan.
Nice.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to add as we close out? Anything about Scooby-Doo, perhaps?
Oh, I think we're all Scooby Dooby Dooed out until Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
And like the other upsetting thing is I also really like Seamus and I don't actually really like what he's doing right now either. So
No.
hi, Oliver.
No, I'm not a fan of the ridiculous 1800 stereotypes of English and Irish people that they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't live without it.
Mhm.
But all righty. Well, then we will all see you next week for another episode of Hello, Ladies, Feminism and Pro Wrestling. As always, hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Yeah, I do.
I can't even shut this off. Stop it.